Good morning. One of the biggest advantages that the BRICS countries have is that everything just costs a lot less. Products cost less in the supermarket for households, and big projects cost a lot less to build. A few examples. The UK is building one of the most expensive railways in the world. It will be a high-speed rail and will cost between $60 and $70 billion. There's even a lot of skepticism there that it's even necessary. The cost per mile is $416 million because the lines are going through densely populated areas. But they point out that China and Japan managed to build high-speed rail through densely populated areas for a lot less than what they're spending in Britain. And I would like to point out that densely populated in England is nothing at all what densely populated looks like in Asia. Next, the New York City subway and public transit are being upgraded, which will cost over $68 billion. The state of New York has agreed to put up most of the money to repair and update the system in the city, buying new trains and buses, replacing equipment that's nearly 100 years old. Dozens of stations will be improved, including putting some elevators in one of the stations. All told, over $68 billion. The California high-speed rail project is one of the greatest boondoggles of all time, now projected to cost somewhere between $88 billion and $128 billion. That $40 billion margin of error is something we usually see in a Pentagon project, not laying track across the desert. It was supposed to be completely finished 5 years ago. Basically, they haven't started yet. In South America, China, Brazil, and Peru are building a major rail project that will transform the interior logistics systems of South America. Its construction will be critical in integrating logistics and infrastructure. The port at Chancay allowed shipping to transit from South America to Asia in just 10 days. And the new rail system will hook up Chancay to plumbing for the rest of the continent. So this new railway will cut across Brazil from the Atlantic to Pacific. Brazil is a huge country. It's bigger than the lower 48 states. So this would be the South American equivalent of our transcontinental railroads. The railway allows Brazil to export commodities to China via the Pacific instead of using Atlantic ports, which will cut 10 days of shipping time. 60% of Brazil's exports to China are iron ores and soybeans, and transport by rail to Peru will be vastly more efficient than by truck to Atlantic ports than through the Panama Canal. This is the statement from BRICS. The railway will have capacity of 18 million tons of cargo when it opens, and within 10 years will haul 50 million tons of cargo per year. $50 billion of the project cost will come from China, which cuts the distance by 10,000 kilometers, over 6,000 miles, and bypassing the Panama Canal. It's called the Bioceanic Railway. China is doing the preliminary surveying and engineering work on it now to determine the most effective ways to integrate the infrastructure that Brazil already has with this new system. They have not committed to build the project yet. It's almost certain that they will, and the cost will be around $70 billion. But that's the important part. $70 billion is what the UK is spending on their HS2 project, and it's what New York City will spend replacing some old trains and equipment and installing elevators and so on. $70 billion in California won't buy much at all. But for that same money, China, Brazil, and Peru will build a transcontinental railway spanning an area larger than the contiguous United States that hauls 50 million tons of cargo a year. This is Shenzhen. Be good. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before men, so they see your good works